Hello, fictional. Welcome to the What If Issei. Today we are gonna see, what if Issei parents adopt Veronica from Vali on the day Issei was born. Part 2. If you end up liking this video, please consider subscribe, so without further ado, let's get into the video. The time was 6:30, the sun was setting with give off a good light and light up the sky orange. Issei at the time was stand on a bridge a short walk from school. To think of what happened today areas is in the 5 top of girl the school. If I am right, I'm going to have to be on grand to keep Veronica and myself out of trouble. Issei though but was cut short when he heard someone to walking to him. He turned to see a girl who was around 15 to 16 year age, was long black raven hair, cute face, chest cup, and wear a pink high school uniform, but she was also giving off a magic aura. Cute. Excuse me? The girl asked. Issei turned to her. Yes miss, may I help you? Issei said, looking the girl up. Are you Issei Hyoudou? She asked again. Yes and no. Yes, I'm Issei but not Hyoudou. Issei said, smile making the girl face blush. May I ask your name? Yuma Amano. She said. Okay Miss Amano, how come you was looking of me? Issei asked as the Yuma looked at her face. Well you see I saw you this morning and could see you was new in town, also I will be starting Cow High School tomorrow. Yuma saying with a shy voice. Partner, you know she a fall angel? Drake said. Yes I know she a fall, I could feel her magic. Issei answered. So you're starting tomorrow? What class are you in? Issei asked. Class 1 to 3. Yuma said with little smile. Issei started to think to himself, so she going to be in my class. Okay, so you're in class 1 to 3, so I will come and see you through break if that okay with you, since we are new and all. Issei said with a cheeky grin. Yuma started think is so easy, it going to be so easy to kill him. Though to herself. Only to hear a voice in her head, Lotus please stop. The voice was a young boy she one talk when she was a child. Yuma, are you okay? Issei asked. Yes, just remembering thing. Yuma said, trying her best not to blow her cover. Issei looked at Yuma to see if she was okay, only to see a memory from 11 years. Flashback, 3 children was playing the park, a silver-haired girl and black-haired girl and a brown-haired boy all play together. Hi Ice and Vali, I have something to show you too. The black-haired said. What at Lotus? A young Issei and Veronica said. Lotus deployed 2 black angel wing from her back. I'm a fall angel, I've been keeping it a secret and my name at not Lotus at Rainer. End of flashback. Rainer? Issei said out of the blue, making Yuma look at Issei with a shocked face. What did you just say? Yuma asked. Rainer is what I said at the name of my friend from 11 year. Issei said, walking away of Yuma. Yuma look at Issei, so hi, it's okay if we hang out after school. Yeah, it only half day tomorrow, so meet me at the school gate after school. Issei said as Yuma nod. Yuma run off waving to Issei a goodbye. I know you're there, Kaneko, did Ria send you? As Issei say that, Kaneko came out of behind a tree near to the bridge. Issei turned to her. Yes President Ria-san to keep eye on you. She said to him only to get a smile of Issei. Tell Rias that I will be dealing with the fallen angel myself, and if she object to it, she will need to stop me herself. Oh, and tell Veronica that I will not be coming home tonight. Issei as him wings came out and flow out, leave Kaneko by herself. What it with that it boy? Kaneko here and around to see Rias and Veronica behind her. That my brother of you all way trying to do thing by himself. Veronica confirming what Issei like. Kaneko, did Issei say where he was going? Veronica asked, but Kaneko shake her head. On will he be okay? As all the girls walk out to Veronica house. Of Issei, what the plan? Drake asked Issei, who was sit in a tree overlook old church. Issei looked around the grounds of the church to see 2 people dressed in black clothes. Exorcist. I think we just find the base. He jumped down to see what the exorcist was saying. So don't Issei plan to kill the boss? The exorcist with white hair said. That what I was tell, don't Issei it going to kill Rainer. The other exorcists say. So some fallen angel going to kill Ray. I think I'm going to stops this before she come back. Issei said to himself. I think you should use the twin light swords and to hide your sacred gear. Also I feel like someone else is inside of your soul. Drake said and asked Issei. I will use as the light swords, but about the someone in my soul is a friend who I'm protesting, so let leave it at that please. Issei said to Drake only to get a sigh of him. Okay, I will leave, but if I see you using another sacred gear, I will tell Albion and Veronica what you've been planning to do to her. Drake said only to make Issei shake with fear. Okay, I take back what I said 10 years ago, you're the worst, and Drake I love you, so I will not be using my friend, but only if it came to life and death I would use both, sounds fair to me. Issei said, making Drake roar with happiness. Love you to partner, and I know you do not think I'm the worst. Drake said, making Issei smile. Hi jackasses, I hear you are going to kill your boss. Issei said. The 2 exorcists turned to see Issei. Look who got have it, looks like schoolboy. Your name? The white hair asked. I'm Issei, a rogue devil looking of the fallen angels. Issei said. Oh, so you're a rogue devil, and why do you look at the angels we work of? Whitehair asked. Because the devils take me away of my family only to find out that they was after my sacred gear. Issei said, making his swords. So you're looking to make the deal with God? Whitehair said. No, looking for your boss. What her name? You mean our boss Rainer? She not have right now, but she will be back in about 3 hours or so. Whitehair. But more time to kill all of you pieces of shit. Issei said, moving so fast the two exorcists could not see him. The Whitehair looked at the exorcist next only to see him being cut in half and blood flying all over place make a bloody mess. Where are you, shitey devil, you can't hide, Fried Selzen. Fried shout. So your name is Fried. You're going to die of trying to kill Rainer. Issei say, changing that Fried at the speed of a bullet train. Fried turned to the way he heard Issei voice to see Issei stand right in front of him. So Mr. Devil, who do you think you are trying to save, a fallen angel? Fried tried to shoot Issei with his holy gun. Well, I get the hots for her and I'm her boyfriend, so it's my job to save her. Issei blocking the bullet with his twin light swords. At the time, three fallen came to where Fried and Issei was fight what going on, and who is that boy Fried? A man wearing a grey coat. Oh, it's Rainer boyfriend Issei and he trying to save her Lord Donaseek. Fried said. Issei turned to the three fallen angels. So you're the bastard who going to kill Ray? Why? Issei shouted. Why? Because she weak the higher up making her the leader, she only a two-winged fallen angel. I'm a six-winged more powerful than her. Donaseek said, showing his wings. She may be a two-winged but do more than you, her get a dragon on her side and you have not. Issei said, running to the angels. One of the angels fire a light spear at Issei, only to be block weak. The fallen was in shock of this. Issei cut the fallen angel before her could ever move, blood flow all over. Donaseek and his partner try to get away, but Issei jump up to the two and grabbed the wing and tore it, that ripping the wing, skin and the bone itself out. The back only streaming of pain could hear of the two. The fallen angels fell to ground with force, making an impact crater. You fallen are really think you could kill me? Issei walk over to Donaseek. What are you? Donaseek partner shouted Issei. He walk into the fallen angel holding his swords to its head. What do you think, I'm a devil who love a fallen angel? Issei smiling to the angel die. Was the last thing Issei say before disheading the angel. Then Issei turned to Donaseek with a face that had a killing look. You're next. Issei start walking to Donaseek. What happened here? A voice shout, only of Issei to look and see Rainer. When he turned, Rainer look at the side around her and then looked at Issei. What are you doing, Issei? Saving you? Issei said to Rainer, only of her to make a light spear. What do you much save me? Rainer asked only of Issei to lower his weapon. Your team was going to kill you because they think you're weak and this fallen once was who ordered it. Issei said, only for Rainer to look at Donaseek. Is he right, Donaseek? The tree, you're a birch and weak, you're going to get all of us kill. Hell, your friend already kill me. He said. Just because I'm weak you try to kill me? Rare asked. Donaseek nod. The light spear she disappear, then looked to Issei, finish the job. When she says that, Issei slashed Donaseek head out, then cut it up into little pests. Rare watch it. When Issei was finished, she looked Rainer and walked to her. You okay? He asked, only to have her run into he hugging and crying his warp him arms around SHHHH. It okay Yuma, I'm have of you. Issei said, stacking her hair. Why? Why what? Issei replied. Why did you do it? Rare asked with tear coming her face. Because Lotus we friends and you're one of me only friend and then your so-called team send you to kill to me and Vale would kill me if I killed you. Issei said smiling. Wait, how do you know my old nickname and my friend Vale? Her asked. Because my ice and Vale at my twin sister Rare. Issei said. Rare smile and hugged Issei. Ray, I'm a devil. I can tell, so I tell, and what do you want? She asked only to have Issei smile. Well, to save you and to have my friend back and my family back in my life. Ray, can I ask you something? What? Rare said, wondering what is asking. Ray, is the Red Dragon Emperor will join my family as a devil pawn? Issei asked. Rare look at him. So me become a devil and being a slave to a horny devil? Rare said only of Issei to shake his head. Yes and no. Yes, became a devil, but you will not be a slave to me, I will train you as my sister. Issei said. Rainer take few seconds to think about it. He offering me to become devil and a new family. So Ice, what I'm hearing is that you want me to become devil that service you, but you will treat me as family? She asked only of him to nod. Okay, but I'm your and no one else, and I'm Yuma Mono for now on. Yuma said, making Issei smile. Okay, I think introduction are need. I'm Issei Gremory, the Red Dragon Emperor and a high-class devil. Issei said, offering hand out. Yuma take hand only to pull him, and I'm Yuma Mono and your fallen angel my Emperor Dragon. She said with a cheeky smile and kissed Issei on the cheek. Issei looked at Yuma and pull out a black pawn. I Issei Gremory clam, the fallen angel Yuma Mono is my pawn and familiar. He placed the pawn piece on her chest and disappear. Yuma then feel her wing pop out only to find one a black angel wing and a bat wing. So I'm your now? Her ask. Yes, but you will be acting as a pawn of my sister of now until I get my own group, okay? And if Ria's try asking you to leave, just say that you're my familiar. Issei said, forming a magic circle under him, and Yuma let go and find Veronica. His said in the disappointment. Issei and Yuma teleported outside of Issei house, it the same one of the anime, so I'm not going to describe it. Two walk up to the door only to find a silver-haired girl opening it. Issei, what time do you call this? You made me worried. Veronica said, pouting with her arms crossed. Sorry sis, I just had something to do and help someone out. He said, point to Yuma, who bowed to Veronica. Wait, that the girl of the bridge, and why do I feel like she a hybrid? Veronica asked. Because she my dragon kin, so I made her into a devil pawn like us. Issei said, only to get an angry look of his twin. You made his girl your kin and not tell me about it. It your mate. What give her the rights? Veronica shouted angrily. She Lotus. Was the only thing he said, and Veronica calmed down. What? She said, shocked. It rained her of 11 year ago and she be looking of us, she got lucky and meet me, so we be talking and catching up. Issei say half the tour. My old name was Rainer, but now it's Yuma Mono. It been a long time Vale. Yuma said, making Veronica walk to Yuma and hug. Long time to no see Yuma, come on, let go inside, you need to meet my and Issei older sister. Issei looked at Yuma and take hand pulled her to the house. Once the three teens got in, they made their way to the living room to see Rias, Akeno and Kaneko all in the twins' house. Oh Issei will Rias was going to welcome Issei back, but stopped when she saw Yuma. What a fallen angel do have Issei? Rias asked her brother, which Akeno looked at Yuma with a killer look. This it's Yuma Mono, she half fallen angel and devil, also my familiar and your part-time pawn. Issei said, making all the girls except Yuma looking at Issei in shock. She a fallen angel. Issei, she can't be trusted. Akeno said, only of Issei to turn to her. He looked at Akeno with his eyes, say I could say the same to you. Akeno, she one of Veronica and my only friends from with before our parents were killed. And I trust her with my life. Issei making Yuma smile and hug his arm, which made Akeno jealous. Akeno, I'm sorry for early. You can tease me a little bit in school, deal? Issei asked. Oh, I think going to need something more to make it up, how about you call me big sister? She asked with sadistic face. Sorry Akeno, but I only got two sisters, Rias and Sona, but how about I take you out shopping? He said, which Akeno nodded to. Rias at the time was shocked about what her young brother said. Wait, when did Sona become your sister? She asked, all confused. Oh, me and Issei talk to Sona of time to time when we was training, and we see her as a sister at all. Veronica answered. Yuma was trying to figure out what the devils was talking about. Excuse me, but can I ask what you guys are talking about? Oh sorry Yuma, the girl with the red hair is Rias of the house Gremory, and at next head of the family also my and Veronica old sister, the white-haired girl who eating is Rias Rook Kaneko Taoju, and she in my class, and lastly the black-hair sadistic people is Akeno Himigia, she Rias queen, and she just like you. Issei finished only to have Akeno look at him. Akeno, or should I said Eiko, is someone I know from 11 years ago. Long to time see Eiko. Issei said, making Akeno tear. Issei, are you saying that Akeno is Eiko like the Eiko who played with us as kid and kissed you all the time? Veronica asked, remembering Akeno this Eiko. Yeah, she is also the kissing thing was because I was keep her secret. Issei said Akeno. Yes you're right and thank of keeping it. Akeno said cheeky. Issei, what secret she talking about? Veronica asking, making Issei nervous. But Akeno answered. Oh, the secret for have kids with me. The word made Veronica, Rias and Yuma jealous and triggered their aura. Issei, what Eiko talking about? Veronica said, making everyone sweet. Sis Eiko was joking and Rias, I think you know what secret, the one about Akeno overside. Issei said, only of everyone to look at Akeno. Wait, you know of Akeno overside? Rias asked. Issei nodded. The lighting bolt fired past Issei. He turned to see Akeno having lighting around her hand. Issei, please stop talk about it. Okay, got it, Rias, I'm putting Yuma under me as your pawn of now, and her going to be live with me and Veronica, if that okay with you? Issei said, getting a nod of Veronica and Yuma. So she living have and work as one of my pawn of now? Rias asked to see if she have it right, and Issei nod. Okay Yuma, I have only one thing I need to know, are you going to be good to my little brother? Yuma nod, good because I'm live have with you, sirs order. Wait, sirs order you to live with our why? Veronica and Issei shout together. Yes, the Devil King order me to live with live to make sure you and Issei don't have a hard time with school. Rias sighed, also Yuma will not be sleeping with you Issei. She finished with. Break. Issei was inside his room laying down the beds. Think of the day he had first day of school, meeting up with Rias, finding two of his old friends, and to find out that Rias is living with him, it been a hard day. Partner, can I talk to you L? Drake asked. What up Drake? Issei said, surprised. I'm thinking that I need to teach you how use your dragon fires. Drake said. Dragon fire, how come I'm only hearing about it? How? Because your fire is not normal, it more powerful if used wrong. So I've been making so change to your body so you can use it. Drake finish. Man Drake, you're one of the best dragon around and I love having you as my friend. Issei said happy. You're the best host I ever have, you treat me like a dragon and not a weapon, you help fix and keep my relationship with my sister, also you said you loved having as a partner which none of my old hosts have said before or even think it, so thank you Issei. Drake said. Well Drake you're welcome, but you need to calm down because Veronica come back and laugh at us, but Drake your past hosts was power-hungry human trying look of fights, and all they see at you as a weapon, but I see you as family, yeah family we are one dragon family me, you, Veronica and Albion. That how I feel about it, plus you're getting no more host because I'm going to find it a fine to keep my and your soul two together, so if I die, I will get a new body, and you put my memories back. Issei said smile like a fool, and Drake laughed well partner, I can keep your soul and put you as my full host is just no one's ever asked me to do this. So has to a fever partnerships. Drake roared breathing fire, and Issei joined to breathing a little fire. Drake did I just breathe fire? Issei shocked. They growth up so fast my little partner become a dragon. Drake said acting like mother ass. Issei said smiling. When Issei was said that Veronica opened the door dress in a wild t-shirt with only button-uppy 2 buttons showing out her white panties and her breasts. What up Veronica? Issei asked. Veronica walked into the room and shut the door quietly. Issei Albion tell me that you are hide something of me. Veronica said only of Issei face to go red. I have be thinking of something. Issei said tubing the back of his neck. Veronica know that Issei was hiding something because he always act like this well what are you think of? Veronica asked. Well I'm thinking about the type of dragon my and Yuma future children are going to be. Issei joking, making Veronica panicking. Wait you plan on have children with Yuma? She said worried about Issei leaving her. Issei looked at Veronica only to start laughing. Ahaha your face to think at that my sister would panic about me having children. Issei said tearfully as Veronica full blushing. Issei. Veronica shout out well casting magic and deploying device dividing. I been thinking of being my ruck to school the tomorrow. Wait you mean miss I having 5 kid to Issei? Veronica asked looking at her brother with shock. Issei lad down on the bed giving ready for so sleep ye she come tomorrow and if you Arias do not like it take it up with Sirzich because I won't let her go after what happened. Issei said as Veronica lad next to him. Sometime I think you got a soft spot of girls but who cares about if you going soft. My feelings are not going to change your Albions. She said hugging Issei and burying her head into Issei's chest. Wait you said Albion's feeling have not changed. He started think then idea pop and Issei had Albion are you in love with me? He said only for one of Veronica I change color from blue to yellow. Young Issei you are saying that I Albion the partner of Veronica is in love with her brother is some things I can't even think about. Albion said only for Issei to sigh. And I love you so much Albion some as Drag I see the two of you as my mom and dad because with me your Veronica get into shit you lecture us on what right or wrong. Issei said only picturing Albion face going red. Suddenly Issei FRLT something was building up in him Drag, Albion time of sleep I need to talk to Veronica in private please. Okay night you too. The two dragons said falling asleep. Issei right aim started to glowing a dark black, so is it time? A young voice said surprised Veronica. Issei who the fuck is that? She asked scared out of her mind the power come out of it. This is a scared gear that a friend of mine get to me, but I can't use it because that friend use it to sleep and heal, I'm surprised you ever waking up. Issei said to the black boosted gear. I'm only check if thing are okay with you because I felt your body change. The voice said. Well Drag changing it and I'm a half pure devil, so your problem felting that. I'm going sleeping if you need me you know what to do. The voice said fading out. Well time to sleep Veronica said. Issei and Veronica shut the eye ready for some sleep Veronica fell first, but Issei stay up waiting of someone. A blue circle appeared on the ground only for a young woman who was 18 years old, came out she was wearing a black kimono, having long black and a black cat ears and tail I'm back Issei. She said looking at Issei and a sleeping Veronica on the bed, Veronica sleeping oh well I'm just take the their side that. She says walk to the bed and lay down next to Issei. Welcome back Kuroka you're later. Issei said sleepily hugging the black cat only of her two purr. But good to be back. Kuroka said shutting her eyes to sleep. The sunlight blast flow the window onto Issei's face which force him to wake only to find mixed color of silver and black hair over his face. Veronica who in the fucking bed with us? He asked a sleepy Veronica. She looked over Issei to see a half-naked Kuroka. She said falling back to sleep of about 20 seconds. The two shoot up and shouted Kuroka, the twins woke Kuroka up, who jump out of bed and onto the floor, she looked around the room off from the shocking awakening. After 40 seconds Kuroka looked at the twins what the fuck you two? I was only laying down. Kuroka hissed. Issei at the time was confused that he was trying to remember who in his house, because he did not see Kuroka the day about okay at me, Veronica, Yuma, Riaz, I think Kaneko have but not Kuroka. When did she got have? Then he remembered that Kuroka came on the medium of the night with he was going to sleep. You came in the night right? He asked Kuroka nodded. Veronica looked to Issei, that to Kuroka, that back to Issei. Oh, you're dead if Sirzich find out that you got a SS class drave devil in your bed. Veronica teasing Issei. The two of you get dressed, Kuroka, you're going to school with me and Veronica. So make yourself look young, and if someone asks you who you are, if human you're my friend of China, and if devil lie about your name and say you're my rook. Do I make myself clear? Issei order. Issei uselessly does not like ordering people around, but Kuroka was a handful. Veronica goes see if Riaz has gone to school yet. They ask Veronica, who used magic to get dressed in school uniform and leave the room. Once Veronica leave, Issei did the same using magic to change clothes. Kuroka changed her for to look 17 years old and got dressed in the cow high school uniform. Issei look over at Kuroka, I love this uniform, it comfy and it show out my sexy charms. Kuroka acting like a high school girl. Well, keep on the down low please, and if Riaz see you come to me please. I don't think Riaz is going to be happy at you around her younger brother. Oh, and stay away of Shirin of the time being. I know it going to be hard, but before the day done she will see you as her sister. Issei said, making Kuroka look happy. Oh Issei, I do not care about any of that have of you and to fix my relationship with my sister, but if I can get some fun out of it a bonus, and I promise if Red see me I will came to you. Kuroka said, kissing Issei's forehead. Suddenly the door opened. Issei and Kuroka turned, thinking it was Veronica, but no, it was Yuma. I said time to get up. Yuma said slowly when she seen Kuroka. They smiled, then looked at Issei. Ice, who this? Yuma asked with a evil tone. Yuma, this is Kuroka, one of my trainer and is my rook. Issei said, making Yuma surprised. Oh, and if you tell Riaz or they are about Kuroka, I will be forced to let Kuroka have to punish you, and Kuroka loved dealing pain. He finished off with, which scared Yuma. But my lord need I'm willing to get. Was all Kuroka said as she walked out the room. Yuma looked at Issei, showing how scared she is. Suddenly Kuroka popped back. Oh fallen princess, I'm going to be transferring with you today, so let get along. She finished and left. Issei, you're going to keep her right? Yuma asked for Issei to nod. Okay. Have did she know I'm a fallen angel and the princess? Yuma was confused. She read energy and era, so that how she know and the princess thing will I'm in the gremory household who are famous and being the heir of Lucifer, which make me a princess. So I think she has made you my maid and princess. Issei said jokingly the last part. Yuma was shocked that her king was the next Lucifer. Ice, with I get to class today, when will you be sitting? Back of the class to the window, Veronica on my right and in front of me is a Pev, so just nick his set. Oh, and tell him that if try everything just say my name and I will deal with it. Issei said, grabbing Yuma and pull out the door, down the stairs, seeing Veronica and Kuroka waiting that door ready to go. Let going girls, Yuma, Kuroka welcome home. All four of the teen leave of school. Break. The four made it to school. Issei got even more rumors about him being a playboy and the girls was his harem, but he just let his classmate talk. The Issei was sitting in class listening to the class. Veronica was talking to some girls about Issei and what he like out of school. The bell rang, the teacher came into the class telling to be quilt. Okay class, we got some new transfer students joining us today, you may come in you too. Teacher said that the door opened, letting two black-haired walk in. Yuma and Kuroka walked into the class. The whole class was shook to have two beautiful girls at the same time. Yuma start, I'm Yuma Amano, I'm 16 years old. I hope we can get along. Yuma bow as she said that. That Kuroka start, yo I'm Kuroka Hyoudou, I'm 16-year-old and Yuma's stepsister. Kuroka said, which made Issei bite his lap a bit because Kuroka used his old last name. The teacher asked if the class had even questioned. One boy shoot up. Do the two of you have boyfriends? His ask only of Yuma, Kuroka and Veronica to laugh. Yes we do, I think you all know him. Yuma said only of Yuma to point at Issei. Kaneko looked at Issei and to Kuroka, then back. Issei looked at Kaneko and said quietly, so no one's know what he said, roof lunch alone. Kaneko noted. Oh hi Issei, how have you been? Kuroka said, cashing Issei attach. Kuroka, long time no see, what it been 8 to 9 years? Issei said, making the full class shocked. Yes, and thank you of letting me and my sister living with you. Kuroka said, making Issei class and Kaneko shout. What's she talking about? The teacher asked. Yuma and Kuroka, mum is old friend of my brother, so he of the two live with me and they mum said yes to it so the two can go to school. Issei was lied, but the teacher believed it. Issei, are you forgetting something? Veronica said, making Issei think about Yuma and Kuroka being your girl. Veronica gets slapped around the back of the head by Issei with a book. Say one word about it and you're sleep alone. Issei said, which made Veronica shut up. Okay, let down it, can you two go take a sit please? The teacher asked Yuma and Kuroka. Yuma clammed the sit in front of Issei after asking the boy with glass. Kuroka takes the one next to Yuma. Once the two sat down, class started. This was English, so Issei was bored, so he took the chance to talk to Drake. Partner, last night felt something's take your right hand, what was is? Drake asked. It was that friend of mine, using she sacred gear to take to me that way I told you and Albion to sleep because she not the biggest fan of red dragons. So I'm take to keeping you and she apart until she full heals and leave my body. Issei sounding scared. Okay Issei I got it, but I'm claiming you. Drake roared and chuck a bit. Or Drake I didn't know you was gay of me. Issei surprising Drake. But what? No partner I mean that I lived in you from day one and watch you grow up and Albion watched over Veronica from day one and we dragon take care of our hosts so what I'm trying to say is that I see you and Veronica as my family and best friends. Drake said happy grow. Drake my claiming you as my dad and Albion as mum. So dad want to train until class finish? Issei asked going into his sacred gear and seeing a gaunt Drake breathing fire, Issei and Drake trained as Issei body go to sleep. Break. At lunchtime Issei and Kaneko was on the rooftop of the school. So Miss Kaneko what did you need to talk to me about? He asked Kaneko who piss off. Why did you bring her to this school? She evil and a killer. Kaneko shout lucky Issei cast a barrier. Well she my ruckin' friend who I know of 8 year now and she saved my life so I owed she. Issei said as he sat down on the bench. Kaneko this point was ready to attack Issei, but she felt that if she attack Issei, she gonna to be the same as Kuroka. How did Kuroka become your rook? Kaneko asked trying to see if her sisters has changed. Easy because I took Kuroka in after I kill her old master. Issei said coldly making Kaneko shocked. What? I killed she master because that bastard was using Kuroka an experiment to increase the powers of Nekomata and he was going to same to you Shirin. That day Shirin I came to see Kuroka because I heard about that man using a Nekomata as a slave and planned on using them to kill Surzich and Rias. So I sent out to kill and save you and Kuroka from him. Okay I killed him not Kuroka, she only covers for me because if someone find out about I killed a random people, it would made Surzich hair look like a killer, so she took the blame and then ran telling me to look out of you until her got down to me, but Surzich told Rias to look after you. After that I started looking of Kuroka, once I find her she asked to become my rook to keep you safe. Issei said making Kaneko shocked that her sister have been running from the devils and that Issei been looking out of she and Kuroka. Why tell me now? Kaneko asked quietly. Because I'm going to tell Surzich the truth about the what that day and I think Kuroka may be trying to mate with me. Issei said joking the last part. Kaneko looked at Issei and remembered that day Issei had took Kaneko hand and led her to the forest to meet Kuroka. Kuroka, I will keep her safe at my house and keep the devil off your back, just give my a day and then come and find me. It was you who saved me and lend me to Rias. Thank you. Kaneko started crying that someone have grabbed Kaneko to hug her sister. What are you doing? Kaneko look up to see Kuroka. Here to see you and to say thank you of looking out of Shirin. Kuroka said hugging Kaneko. Kuroka I keep my promise to my family, you and Kaneko are family, so got along or me going to replace Kuroka with Kaneko. Issei smile at the sisters reunion. Okay next stop Orc Rias is going to kill me. Big brother Rias is not going to kill you, but may try Kuroka. Kaneko said with her cat ears and tail out. But big brother? Issei all confused. I think she take you as her brother now little brother. Kuroka said teasing Issei. Okay Kaneko I will be your brother, but Kuroka not allowed to call me brother. Issei said pick up Kaneko and putting her on his back let go. Issei, Kaneko and Kuroka leave to the orc to see Rias and the whole group. Break. The three was outside the orc room. Issei knock on the door to heard enter he opened the door. Hello Issei. Will Rias stopped to see Issei with a Kaneko on his back and a black hair Nekomata next to him. Issei what are you and Kaneko doing and who this? Rias asked only of Veronica to speak up. Hi Ice has Kaneko and Kuroka friend again. Issei nodded. What? You make Kaneko's sister? Rias asked. Issei nodded, putting Kaneko down and sat down only for Kuroka and Yuma to sat to next to him and Kaneko sat on Issei lap. Kaneko why are you sitting on my brother lap at my spot? Veronica said only of Kaneko to grab Issei hand and wrap them herself. Thieving little cat, you're bad as your sister. Veronica smile. Wait you to know Kuroka? Rias asked only for Issei to sigh. Yes I know Kuroka and Shirin because I'm the one who saved the two of them and killed Kuroka old master. Issei said coldly make Rias, Yuma and Akeno sweat. So you killed to save the two of them? Yuma asked Issei who nodded. Yuma got up from her sit and walked behind him and hugged him. You idiot. You always do thing like then to save people. So what I'm hearing is that Kuroka not evil or a killer. Issei nodded okay, but why is she here? I mean her has not ever got a evil piece. Yes she did she my rook and she going to teach Kaneko how to use her Nekomata powers. Issei claims which Kuroka and Kaneko happy about. Partner I feel a dragon nearby a holy one. Drake shouted. What? A holy dragon? Issei shouted shocking the people around him. What about a dragon? Veronica asked. She knows Issei and if he feels something out then there is. Veronica get ready we going to find that dragon and see what it was. Everyone please go home and Rias do we have your permission to deal with this dragon? Rias stood up and looked at the twins. Shown this dragon what the gremory twins can do. Rias order, Veronica and Issei bow and teleport away. Veronica and Issei teleport to the park. It was around 5:30 p.m, so the sun was setting. The dragons changed for school uniform to everyday clothes. Veronica was wearing white tank top, blue hooded and blue trousers. Issei was wearing a red shirt and a black trousers. So is this where the dragon is, around here somewhere? Veronica asked, looking around, only seeing the odd people walk past. Issei looked around and felt a power was a mix of dragon and holy energy came from the park playground. He started to running that way, think it could be attack children and use a barrier to hide itself. Issei, wait up. Veronica shouted over Issei. Issei got to the playground to find that a blonde-haired girl on a swing is alone. Find you? Issei walked up the girl and released a bit of his dragon energy to get the girl to look at him. The girl turned to Issei with a scared look. She stood up and get ready to run, but then a second dragon energy take up behind her. She was trapped. 2 dragons. Was all she said. Issei cast a barrier around the playground. What are you doing here, stray? Veronica asked the yellow dragon. You may know that this town is a dragon nest of me and my mate. She pointed at Issei. The girl looked at the twins. Dragon nowhere safe. I need help. I'm one of the last yellow dragon and I'm being hunted about the rogue priest. Named Fried Selzen. She said, asking for help from her unknown kin. The priest is dead. I killed him 2 days ago and I'm willing to help a dragon in need. I'm the red dragon Issei and she the white dragon Veronica. As you can see we are twins. Issei said, making the yellow dragon face light up with happiness. Thanks you Lord Issei for your kindness. My name is Asia Argento. She said with a bow. When she was done, red magic appear on the ground, only of Riaz and Akeno to appear. Issei, Veronica, are you okay? Riaz asked, only to her little brother and sister with a young blonde girl. Is this the dragon you two felt? Issei nodded. She is. It turns out she a yellow dragon in need of help. She being hunted about some dragon hunter. So is the red dragon emperor. It my job to protect my cousin dragon. Issei said, making Asia smile, but Veronica was get jealous. Well, even if her a yellow dragon, she came into someone else dragon territories without permission, so I'm going to keep an eye on her. She only get one chance. Veronica said, walking away. Asia looked at Veronica walking away. Did she hate me? She asked only of Riaz to stand next to her. No. My sister only just looking out of her family. She used to live have but was forced to move with Issei. The whole town is devil and dragon territory, so it fell to me, Issei and Veronica to keep it safe. And Issei has get his word to keep you safe, but it didn't give you rights to over him. He got 7 mate who love him and she the head of it all. Ria said, walking away from Asia. Asia turned to Issei, who was talking to Akeno. She walked up to the mom. Lord Issei, can I ask you if Lady Veronica is okay with me being here? Isa asked, only for Issei to pat her head. No, she just upset because I'm taking in a new dragon. Issei said with a smile, by the way, I'm going to see where you're going to stay. Akeno, is it okay if Isa can stay with you of the time until I find a place of her to live? Yes, I can take her in for the time being. But you're going to take me shopping tomorrow. Oh, and Yuma too. I think she needs some new clothes and maybe a uniform. Akeno started to list some item that Asia and Yuma may need. Isa smiled and thanked Akeno of her help. Okay, let go. I get a feeling it's something going to happen and it going to be bad. Issei said, making the girls look a little confused. What do you mean? Akeno asked. See what up with young red. Issei closed his eye and let out a bit of magic to see what was going on. Fire. Internal fire. Phoenix fire. So soon as he said that his rage built up, his wing deployed, his eyes change of brown to yellow, and his teeth got razor sharp. I am going to kill that bird. Issei shout, only of a blue sound wave going divide about 5 times, and a Veronica come down behind and hugs Issei. SHHH. Brother, claim down, you're scaring Akeno and Asia. Veronica softly said, claiming the raging dragon down. But as he started to claim down, his right aim go black. The unwell one, what happened to my vassal? The emotionless voice asked. His rage has built up and think it because of his new high-class energy. But who is it from? Asia, speak up. He said something about a phoenix. As she said phoenix, Issei energy built up again and Veronica was forced to bite Issei on the neck to use her health power, which made Issei fell to the ground in pain, but Veronica not let go of him. Isa and Akeno was shook of what Veronica was doing to Issei. She used moonlight heal. Asia said, making Akeno that her. What moonlight heal? Akeno asked. A forbidden dragon power that can only be used by female dragon who is deeply connected with mate, human or dragon. But the two are twin, so this should not work unless. Asia start use why moonlight heal was using for the two that when blight red in the face. Are the two of them? Asia embarrassed asked Akeno. They're right, the two are mates, but Issei is trying to find Veronica a boyfriend, but she having not of it, so she sleep in some bed as him, but Issei as some over girls, no once at the top, all the girls are even in Issei harem. But he keep denying that he got a harem. Akeno said. Asia looked at Akeno and started to think what a harem. Veronica at the time was finished claiming Issei down and ended up kissing him. Bester. Veronica say with a cheeky smile. Yay, I'm good, but we need to get back here. Issei said, raise his wings. Veronica wings came out ready to fly, Akeno devil wings came out too, Issei was the only one who didn't deploy her wings. Issei, are you okay? Issei asked. No, I can't use my wings. My dad never teach me how to use them. Asia looked down so she said it. Issei, how old are you? 15. Asia was surprised. Think of your wings and let your body take control. Issei ordered, which Asia did. As she did it, a small yellow pair of dragon came out. Now let open your mind. It go to shown you how to fly. Issei touched the top of Issei's head and her eyes shoot open. What did you do? Put my mild of how to fly into your brain, now you should do ability to fly subconscious, Issei said, flying up as everyone followed him back to the orc. Break. The three dragons and Devil's Queen got to the orc room door only of Issei to force open it to a room with Kaneko, kids and Yuma standing near to windows. Kuroka was sitting that Ria's chairs lean on the desk. Ria's was sitting down on the couch with a blonde hair man next to her wearing a red suit holding Ria's hair cross of them. A young blonde hair girl wearing a pink dress was tipping so tea and finish it off a grey hair woman dress in a French maid uniform. Who turned to Issei and the hours. Hello Lord Issei, Lady Veronica. The maid said. Sister Greria, hello. Issei said bow but keep his eye on Riser. I see we have guests. Well, I think Riser needed to keep his hand to himself. Issei sound angry but trying to keep his cool. Greria, how are thing, brother doing well? Veronica asked get hyper from C. Greria. Greria look at the twins. Yes, he do well and Lord Riser this overstepping his right. Greria turned to Riser who was shocked at the sight of Veronica and Issei. He got up and walked to Veronica. Well, I see him bride has got a group of lovely girl of Riser. Riser said making Issei close to losted. Brother, you got Lady Ria's, please leave the white dragon alone, she the red dragon's sister. The young phoenix said making Riser back down and Issei look at her. Oh, Ravel. I did not see you there. Issei said making Ravel mad at him. You idiot. You need to keep up with things, Sai, I don't know what my mum was thinking making me your bishop. Ravel said, which making all the people in the room turn to Issei except Greria and Veronica. Yes, Ravel is my bishop. Issei said only to got Riser to pull him up by his shirt. You little shit, who do you think you are, take my sister. Riser shouted in Issei's face. At a trade between our family you get Ria's, I got Ravel. Issei said. Greria dislike people who try hurting Issei or Veronica. Riser put him down now. She said making everyone in the room shake in fear. Riser put Issei down, if you do that again, it will be your life. No one hurt my king's little brother. Riser, your wedding will be in 2 days and Ria's you will be go. Issei said making all the girls and Kita surprise. As he said that Riser looked at Issei. Last you see that this wedding is good if all devils, you may have Riser's sister, dragon, how be we both get wedded at the same time. Riser said trying to make Issei happy. Bit a deal, but we hold it at the Gremory castle and may I invite a friend of mine. Yes to both, goodbye. Ravel, you may stay with your king. As Riser said he despaired. Issei. Ria's and Veronica shout. What do you think you're doing? Ria's asked you or sell your sister. Ria's start cast her magic at Issei but was blocked with Issei hugging her out of nowhere. Issei, you plan on fighting Riser on the wedding day? Veronica asked only of Issei to nodded. Yea, and tell the full devils that Riser has break a pact between devils and dragon. Issei smiled about it but Ria's was confused about the pact. What pact are you talking about? She asked. In dragon laws say if a one dragon of my family wished to marry a dragon from Greria family, the dragon from my family would have to fight ever the head dragon or one of its siblings to show the Greria family that the dragon of my family not a weakly. So the law applies here because I marked you as my sister, so he going to have to fight me. And if he refuse to fight him, his punishment is ever pain or death. The only way he win is knocking me unconscious, Issei said making everyone happy. Okay, I will let it go. Riaz said. When Riaz was finished, Greria looked at Issei getting out a bit of energy. Issei, I want to know why that stray is doing here. Greria asked trying not to get angry. Veronica looked at Issei. You need to tell her, say with her eyes only of Issei to sigh. She my ruck and dot. Issei scratched the back of his neck. Well, she my kitty, so if you got a problem with it go look in my room at home there a report of what really happened. He said. Greria nodded knowing that Issei would not break the rules so lightly. I will be take my leave, I hope see you all in 2 days. Greria bow and left. Okay, what the plan? Riaz asked her red dragon brother. Well, first could you make Asia your bishop? She got sacred gear twilight healing. He says only of Asia to look at him. How do you know about my sacred gear? Easy, I can feed energy really easy and a sacred gear of your level is a bit hard to miss. Issei smiles to Asia and pat her head. So Riaz, are you willing to take Asia into your family? Riaz nodded to this. Good. Now we all needed to get ready for this wedding. My group let go. Riaz, I going to let you deal with your group, so make them the best looking team ever. Issei finish, teleporting Yuma, Kuroka and Veronica all back to his house. What did you leave that young dragon back there? Yuma asked. Because I'm limited to 6 pieces like I got you, Ravel, Kuroka and Veronica. You know Veronica White Dragon my queen, Yuma you're my fallen pawn, Kuroka my black kitty rook and Ravel is my burning bishop, and I may have a knight who traveling right now. So I only have one pawn left to use. Either way my pieces are all mutated pieces. Issei said got out his sleeping wear out. You can sleep in my bed or go back to your rooms. He says got into his sleeping wear and got into bed. The girls undressed and get into his bed, Veronica on his right, Yuma on his left, and Kuroka with using Issei legs to sleep on. With the girl was in his bed and asleep, he put Kuroka up his front, let out his wings, he warped them, the girls make a shield to protest them, and fell asleep himself. The day had come of the wedding of Riser and Riaz alongside Issei, Ravel, and Veronica, an event that entirety of Devil Society had been expecting tersely for a long time. Members of all the high-class families had come to the public wedding to see the long-awaited union of famous Gremory and Phoenix clans. Issei was waiting in his changing room with Veronica and Yuma. What the hell, Ice? Yuma asked, trying to understand just what he was doing as he dressed in a well-tailored black suit and brought his boosted gear out. With you brought out the boosted gear. Are you trying to get yourself killed? Yuma was worried about Issei as he was one of the only high-class devils to wield a sacred gear. He's going to be fine, Lotus, Issei is strong, and even if someone were to try to attack him, he's got a group of girls who are willing to help him, and he is ranked first alongside me among the young devils. He's even got a fan club of devils who do whatever they could to join or fight with him. Veronica said, walking out of the room. Now come on Yuma, let's go and get ready for my sister's wedding. She said, making Yuma follow her. Well, I think it's time that you wake up, my friend. Issei said as soon as they left, causing his right hand to glow and a black dagger to appear. Yes, it is time. But what are you going to do with my gear, Red One? The voice asked only for Issei to throw the dagger into air. But rather than fall to the ground, it started to glow and transform shape, taking the form of a humanoid figure. I will keep it for you, Black One, and when you need to hide again, come and find me. I will keep you safe again like I have for the last 10 years. Issei then walked to the door but stopped as he had a thought. Remember, I always keep my promises, especially those to my friends, even if they're dragons gods. He then finished walking out, leave a young-looking black-haired girl wearing a deep purple dress. And I will keep my dragon knight of the endless infinite. The girl smile and disappear. Classical music filled the grand hall. Devils from all types of households had come to the Gremory castle for the wedding between the two great pillar houses. Waiting to see the joint wedding of Riser to Riaz and Issei to Ravel. Riaz and Issei were in the hall talking about what the Red Dragon Emperor had planned. Let's hope our brother's here or I'm going to have to break the wedding myself. Issei joked, making Riaz chuckle. Oh, he's here and ready, but if things don't go as planned, do you have a backup plan? Riaz asked only for Issei the smile. The plan is all ready to go. Let's just say a friend of mine is at this party and she's a little pissed off. Issei replied, drinking his brother's best wine. 3 bottles of demon fire wine, which takes up to 20,000 years to perfect. In fact, Issei and Riaz were drinking Serzich's full collectivate. Brother's going to kill us for drinking all his wine. Riaz said, downing her glass of said wine before Issei poured her more. But then he saw Riser at the wedding altar and start heading there himself. Time to go, Riaz. He said, putting his arm out so that he could escort Riaz to the altar. Drake, tell Veronica to stand by. The great dragon nodded in response. The music started playing Wagner's bridal chorus as two began their walk to the altar. They could see Riser standing in middle of altar stage, Ravel next to him, to her right was Veronica and Riaz group, all wearing red dresses and Kiba in a red suit. As soon as Issei and Riaz arrived at the stage, Issei deployed his dragon wings, making the entire room fully aware of what he is. People of the underworld, I, Riser Phoenix, welcome all of you. Today is a great day, the day of the wedding between two great families. Today Riser will wed Lady Riaz from the house of Gremory, and his sister Ravel Phoenix will wed the Gremory dragon lord Issei Gremory. Riser greeted the guest, only to be interrupted as the doors that led it into the halls blasted open, sending one of the doors flying toward the altar. In a flash, Issei summoned his twin light swords and slashed the door to pieces before it could even get close. As the dust and debris settled, a little girl revealed standing in the doorway wearing a deep purple dress with black long hair, her face showing no emotions. Stop the wedding, she said, making Riser rage. You? Who do you think you are, little girl? You think you can stop Riser? Riser began to summon fire, but Issei put his hand up in front of Riser. Stop. What are you doing, Gremory? Riser asked, but Issei did not reply to him, only looking at the little girl. What are you doing here, Office? Asked Issei, acting all surprised. Red Dragon, you are going to follow the dragon way, fight the phoenix to see if he is worth something to your family. Office said. Riser was about to reply, but Issei cut him off. I'm sorry, Dragon of the Infinite, I forget our ways, forgive me. Replied Issei as he bowed to Office. You are forgiven. Now show this phoenix what the Red Dragon of Destruction can do. Office says, making Issei smile and point his swords to Riser. Riser, if you want my sister, fight me in the dragon ways. If not, the dragon's right say that I can punish you, and the punishment will be that you're forbidden from ever going near Rias, you asshole. Issei shouted. Very well, Red Dragon Emperor, Riser will show you what he can do. But when this is done, I will be taking your mate, the Silver Dragon Empress, Veronica Gremory, and your title. You filthy half-breed. Riser shouted only for Issei's finally step. Riser, if you call my heir a half-breed again, you will be executed. Issei, you are within your rights to follow the dragon ways. We are in your homeland, so the fight for Rias and Veronica Gremory will begin. Said Issei, to which Issei and Riser nodded. The battlefield that the two high-class devils were sent to was a giant chessboard, the same one from the anime, while the whole party was set to watch the fight. Rias was fearing that Issei was going to lose, but Yuma, Kuroka and Veronica knew Issei could handle Riser, but what no one knew was Issei what had planned. Be ready, Riser. Issei shouted to Riser, who stood atop one of the giant king pieces. Riser is always ready to show the low-class devil his place. Riser said, smiling condescendingly. Begin. And as soon as Issei shouted that, the two charged at each other with high-energy blasts. Riser laughed as he hurled a fireball at Issei, but he used his boosted bear to block all of Riser's attacks. Boost. Hey Riser, I think you need to step it up. Your attack are weak compared to my usual sparring partner Issei's. Issei said, mocking Iser, which just enraged he even more. Boost. You dare to mock me, you low-bred filth. Riser shouted, launching a whole barrage of fireballs at Issei, only for them to be deflected, causing smoke to well up. Boost. Welsh Dragon. Balance breaker. Shouted Drake from within the boosted gear. The smoke cleared and Issei was revealed in a red suit of dragon-like armor. You idiot, you really think you're ready to face me, Riser? Issei said, shocking Riser at the sight and energy coming from Issei. The party attendees watching were also shocked at the sight of Issei in his scale mail armor. Oh, what's he up to? Issei asked Veronica, who had walked next to him. Dragon Breaker. My brother is going to use his Dragon Breaker. Veronica said, as Issei looked at her. What is this Dragon Breaker? Just watch, you're going to see it in action. Issei turned back to the fight, only for his eyes to widen. Back to the fight. Issei was glowing red and green as he changing his form to that of a red armored humanoid dragon, just think of Tannen but smaller. Issei let loose a roar so loud and so powerful that the people watching at the party could feel his power, which just kept building up. The Red Dragon Emperor then looked at Riser, who had lost all color from his skin. Time to die. Issei roared in a demonic voice as a bright light appeared in his dragonic claw, forming into a holy sword, but not just any holy sword, it was one of the fragments of Excalibur. The Excalibur of Destruction. All the devils who watched the fight were shaking in fear. A devil wielding an Excalibur, one of the most powerful weapons the church has, is in the hands of a half-dragon and pure-blood devil. Talenson's Note 1. I have questions about how a pure-blood anything is also half something else. What are you? That sword should be killing you just by holding it. Riser shouted, launching countless fireballs at Issei, only to be blocked by the humanoid dragon. Issei then held the sword and began an ominous walk towards Riser and summoned Phoenix Slayer. Riser, time to die for what you've done. Breaking the dragon laws, trying to force my sisters to marry you, and for using Ravel to kill me 3 years old. As one of the Gremory dragons, I sentence you to death. Issei take the two holy sword and sliced Riser in half before proceeding to dice him into smaller and smaller pieces. Riser was, without a doubt, dead. Issei roared again and began to transform down into his normal form before flying back to the party. Issei got back to the party, only to be greeted by fearful-looking people. Veronica, Rias, Ravel and Issei all walked up to him. I'm back, like the show? Issei asked with a smile, only to get slapped around the face by Veronica, which left a red handprint. Issei, you're a monster, how could you do that and not feel a thing? You were supposed to stop and make him fear you, not kill him. What? Veronica asked, crying why her brother killed Riser. Issei looked around to see the faces of his team. Fear was the only thing he could see. He turned back to his sister. Issei looked down to the floor. Killed him? I killed him because of what he's done. Kidnap, rape, assaulting people a number of times. He killed peoples for not addressing him as Lord Riser, and you think that I'm a monster? I just saved our sister of a life with a man who only saw her as an object. He tried to use our dragon ways to feed his own greed and lust. One of the reasons I took Ravel in was because Riser was going to marry her off to a different family, just stay in their good graces, and you think that I'm a monster? Issei looked up to Veronica with tears in his eyes. His own sister, the only real family he had beyond the Gremory, and the person he loves the most, was calling him a monster. Veronica saw her brother crying, but before she could say anything, Issei deployed his wings and flew away. Issei. Veronica shouted, getting ready to go and get him, only to be stopped by Rias. Rias, get out of my way. No. You're only going to make things worse. Rias said, hold the White Dragon Empress. The Gremory heiress then turned to Issei's group. Yuma, Kuroka, go get him. She ordered. The two nodded then flew off after their king. Veronica at the time was crying into Ria's shoulder. What have I done? Thought Veronica to herself. Issei was about 3 miles away from the castle with a fallen angel and Black Kitty standing near him. What do you two want? Issei growled. We came to keep you company. Yuma said walk up to Issei with Kuroka beside her. Yeah, what Vali-chan said was uncalled for. You just saved a lot of people for that fucker. Riaz, Ravel and all of the girls, but what Vali said, calling you a monster. If anything, you're a Haranya. Kuroka said trying to cheer up her love. Issei looked at the two in front of him, they were smiling. He started think about why the two were trying to make him feel better. Son, I think Veronica was out of order. But you did just kill a man and we're happy about it. You know that taking a life is not easy and may have scared Veronica. Drake said making Issei cheer up a bit. You guys are the best. Issei said putting on a small smile. At the time Office was watching the young dragon and his friends and decided to find out and if Issei was okay. Office. What are you doing here? I thought you went back to the dimensional gap. Issei asked all confused. I am returning to my new home, your soul and heart. Office said making Kuroka and Yuma get into a fighting stance. And what gives you the rights to be in his body Naya? Kuroka hissed. I'm not losing my only family again, so I'm willing to fight even you. Yuma said making a spear of light. Office put out her hand with a magic circle getting ready to cast. I, Office the dragon god of the infinite, claim the dragon Issei Gremory as my protector. Do you take the title of protester of the infinite? Office asked only for Issei to put out a black dagger. I, the red dragon emperor, Issei, take the title and will protect you with my life. Once Issei said this Office turned to dust that the dagger absorbed. The dagger then glowed red and black for a second as the blade turned from black to a dark red. He then brought the dagger to his lips and kissed it. Welcome back. The dagger glowed once again and changed its form back into Opus who proceeded to hug and kiss Issei, making the two black-haired girls jealous. Issei! Shouted Yuma and Kuroka. As the fallen angel threw her spear and Kuroka cast some of her spells at Issei, he started running with Office and a princess carry. Issei stop running so we can deal with that thief. Kuroka shouted, launching a blue fire bolt right in front of him. The bolt hit Issei in the back and sent flying right into a rock Issei kept holding to Office. Kuroka, you idiot. You hit Issei. Are you trying to kill him? Yuma said running to Issei's side to see if he was okay. Ice, are you okay? The young dragon nodded but was in quite a bit of pain. Yeah, I'm okay, just forgot how strong Kuroka was. Said Issei as he started getting up while hugging Office. You okay Office? She nodded, good. Kuroka shoot but next time finish the job. Let go Office. The infinity dragon nodded and turned back to her dagger sacred gear form. Issei grabbed Office and charged at Kuroka, moving so fast that Yuma couldn't see anything more than a blur and sent Kuroka into the ground. Sorry, but you've been a bad kitty. Issei said as he pat Kuroka on the head. So you're going to be sleeping in your room for the next 4 days and Yuma will be taking your place. He said as he smiled darkly. Well Yuma you're in for a rough night Naya. Kuroka chucked. What do you mean? Asked the fallen angel little seared. Oh, just that you're sleeping in my bed tonight and Kuroka's going to sleep outside like a good kitty. Issei said looking at Kuroka with scary eyes and smile. Then he just turned around and walked out. Come on we're going home. Issei continued to walk back to the Gremory castle. The two girls looked at each other and smiled, then ran to their king only of him to stop. Walking's going to take a bit of time. That said he brought out the boosted gear. Welsh dragon. Balance breaker. Bragg shouted as Issei started glowing like he did in the fight with Riser and shouted, Dragon breaker. As he turned into his humanoid dragon form, the girls looked at the new Issei and felt the power of him. Issei knelt down and held his hands out. Hop on. Dragon Issei said. The two got on Issei hands only of him to put the girls on his head. Issei I can see the castle from here. Yuma said taking in the view. Kuroka was looking for a way down and slipped onto Issei's nose. Issei I need it off. Kuroka shouted only of Issei to set off into the air. This is not off. The Nico screamed only for Yuma and Issei laugh. We'll be back at the castle in 3 seconds. Issei said going that fast speed. Issei Pav, Yuma, Kuroka, and I all made it back to the castle. Let's just hope Veronica calmed down a bit and Rival can forgive me for killing her brother. As soon as we got back to the hall, it was empty of people. Okay. It looks like I may have scared a lot of people. I said and my two girls nodded. That's an understatement. Yuma and Kuroka said in eerie synchronous. Okay, then let go to my room. I walked out to the main door, only for it to open and reveal Grafia standing there. Welcome back Issei. Said Grafia as she walked to me and the girls. I'm back big sis. Where's Veronica, Riaz, and the others? I asked. Grafia gave a small smile. Your friends are in the guest room, Lady Riaz is waiting for you in the training room, and your sister is in my room with Surziches. I know why you did it, it needed done by you or someone else. Grafia said with her smile. Well, I was waiting 10 years for the chance to kill him for what he's done. I said, which caused Grafia hug me. Grafia. I think you're going to be a grand king, just try to keep your anger under control, and you may just get a new pawn. Grafia said, making me go bright red. Grafia, I said no to adding her to my family, she's my brother's pawn and your friend now daughter. I shouted as my rookin' pawn looked at me funny. Who's she talking about? Kuroka asked, a bit annoyed about it. Oh? You haven't told them about Ruby? I shook my head. Ruby is my friend's youngest daughter, she is around Issei's age, and she and Issei trained under me. She got the title of the Little Red Reaper. Grafia finished, causing Yuma and Kuroka to look at me. Ruby is a little hyper for her age, and every time I see her, she keeps trying to hug or fight me. I said, only for my instinct to kick in. She's here, isn't she? When I said that, rose petals fell from the roof and a red scythe came down in front of my face and I moved out of the way of it. A little red hooded figure was in front of me and she had a giant red scythe in her hands. The hooded figure charged at me and I sidestepped but only just missed the blade of the weapon. She keeps trying to slash at me, so I moved back and waited for a chance to fight back. Yuma, I need a light spear. As I asked for a spear, Yuma formed one and threw it to me. I then backflipped and grabbed the spear before starting to fight back. After about 5 minutes of fighting, I grabbed the figure's hood and threw her to the ground, and the hood came down showing a small girl with black and red hair and sliver eyes. She looked about 14 years old. Do that again and I break Crescent Rose. She stops lashing and I let Ruby go so that she can get up. So did this show you that I'm a good pawn for you, Red Dragon? Ruby asked as she put her hands on her hips and smiled cheekily. Sometimes I can't deal with this girl. I thought to myself. Sigh. Ruby, let me introduce to my real pieces. This is Yuma, my pawn, she a half-fallen angel and devil. This is Kuroka, my rook bishop, she a Nekomata and former stray devil. The two are a lot stronger than you are. Yuma is a six-winged fallen angel and Kuroka is a master in magic, senjutsu, yujutsu, and close-range fighting. So, the two of them are on a higher level than you, little Miss Red Reaper. I said, walking past Ruby and headed to the doors. Kuroka. Yuma. Follow Grafia to your rooms and get some sleep. Ruby, go to your room too and we might talk about you being my pawn in the morning. Walking, I ordered the girls to get some sleep. Time skip 20 minutes. Gremory training room. I pulled the door to the training room open to see Ria's at the opposite side of the room, sitting on a bench wearing her school uniform. So, you finally came. Ria stood up and had a look of anger. Yeah, Grafia told me that you were waiting of me. I said as leaned back against the doorframe and looked at my sister. So, what do you want? Ria's walked towards me a bit. I need to know. What are you and are you a threat? Ria's asked all angrily. So you know I'm not a threat to you or the others. As for what I am. I closed my eyes. I'm Issei Gremory, the adopted son of Zeodicus and Venelana. Also, I am the twin brother of Veronica Gremory and the younger brother to Serzich's and Ria's Gremory. But I'm also a half-dragon and devils who is seen as a monster by my own family and most devils because I killed a cunt devil called Riser and my power is only little off from one of the Satans. With a little work, I could probably kill God and all the leaders of the three factions. I finish. When I opened eyes to see Ria's go pale. Ria's took a step back. You're that strong? I nodded. What chance have I got to take you down if you go out of control? You, about 50-50 chances if you and Serzich teamed up, but I can't go out of control because Drake would knock me unconscious before I could. But if you and Veronica fight me, about 75%. I said, walking over to Ria's. But the only way I will ever fight my sisters is if you two attack first or if the two of you try to war between the three faction. Stopping in front of Ria's, I stopped and kneeled down. I closed my eyes again, waiting of the punishment from my sister, but to my surprise, she only started petting my head. Good boy. Ria said, making me growl in happiness. You're not a monster. You're the Gremory Red Dragon and my cute and strongest pawn other than Veronica. She smiled. Listen, Issei, what you've done today has shown the other devil families that you are a lot more powerful than you let on, so some devil women may try to get close to you and knowing our dad, he may ever try to marry you to some young devil. Ria start to think to herself and I looked at her. BA bump, wait, what's happening? BA bump, my heart is beating faster. BA bump, I leaned closer to Ria's and slow closed my eyes. This I cut Ria's off with a kiss on the lips. BA bump, pulling away, I looked at Ria's whose face was almost alight with her blush. It took a few seconds to take in what happened. Ria's, I'm so sorry. I don't know what I was doing. I started to panic, but Ria's hugged me. It's okay. Issei, I was planning on kissing you anyway. It just shows that you're growing up. One day you're going to find someone who means the world to you, so when you find that person, don't let them go. Ria said, making tears form in my eyes. I turned my head to Ria's neck and bite down on it. Oh. Ria's let out a moan, feel my warm energy going through her body. Issei. I release my teeth from her skin with blood dripping. The place I bit Ria's now has a small red dragon symbol. I feel a little warm feeling in my heart. Okay. I just fucked up. I said while giving out a nervous laugh. Riaz was rubbing her new marked neck. What do you mean you fucked up? I may have just marked you as cutting myself out. Riaz looked at me with a confused face. On, what have you done? She asked and I shook my head. Please. I promise you that I won't get mad. Sighing I cave in. The mark you have is my mate mark. Okay. I have just marked my older sister as my second mate. I shouted. Riaz heard what I just said and smiled. So, who the first? Veronica. She's my first mate. Do you remember the day you walked in on me and Veronica kissing? Riaz nods. Well, before you came in. I bit Veronica on her neck and a wild dragon symbol appear on her neck. The funny thing is that Dragon Albion told me and Veronica to kiss that day and form what my sister told me her mind went blank and then the same thing happened to me. Next thing I know you came in and I'm on top of my half-naked sister. Riaz started to giggle. Oh, so I'm your number 2. Well, I didn't know you was starting to make a harem. Riaz joked. I will allow it, but only if you keep it a secret from Big Brother. So, who's going to be in your harem? Sigh Riaz, I'm not having a harem. And to be honest I'm happy with what I've got. If there are girls out there who love me for who I am then I'm all for it. I smile, but I'm not going out of my way to make girls fall of me. I finished. Riaz just kept smiling, she takes my hand and the two of us walked out of the training room and headed to Greyfear room. End of the here. So that's it for today's video guys. Before you go, just like the video and share it with your friends. Bye.